ビシッと決めるね。ひとまず休んでっと。待機中、漆黒の中に刻まれる罪。ワン、ツー、スリー、フォー、いくよー。はっ、いつでもいけるわ。慈悲なんてないわ。
Alright. Hello everyone, this is Hodora, and we are back with Chaos Zero Nightmare. Today, as you can see in the video earlier, I'm gonna talk about how I built my Renoa and the usual plan or usual comp I always use with her. And you can see the damage potential earlier, right? That is, well, spoiler, my usual comp, Nia and Renoa. Two of them together can do a lot of damage, but we need a little bit of setup on Renoa first, so let's go to her. Right. So we're not gonna do the entire kit of her because I assume you already know how she works, right? She have a token card called the Bullet that can be generated to either the Echo Sorrow or Flower of the War Fate, right? And this bullet can either be used to do more damage, or it also do damage if it got this card. Whenever it's moved to this card pile, it's gonna do half of the damage you usually do when you use it. So her game plan allow this is either you have enough the bullet to gain a lot of damage on one of her cards, maybe Lardish Assault or Instant Judgment, which discard bullet and get more damage, right? Or just have enough in hand to buff Ballad or Pitch Black, because this one doesn't discard as long as you have enough. So that is her game plan, just try to get as many bullets as possible. And if you have enough or a lot but don't draw any, her eco skill can basically move all the bullets from either your draw pile or your discard pile to your hand to use them all at once. But you might see earlier is a fun interaction, right? Because the bullet trigger every time it got discard, it doesn't say discard from hand. So if you have like a lot of the bullet in your deck already, for example, if you have finished your first cycle of your deck, assuming you have quite stack a little bit of the bullet in your discard pile, it's gonna be reshuffled into your deck. And when that happens, we can use Near Ego skill, which basically just discard your entire draw deck into discard pile, and that's gonna trigger all of your the bullet at once, right? But that shouldn't give her like what you see, right? 1,000 per bullet. No. We need another component, which is this accessory called Dimensional Cube, which basically if you discard a card plus 10% damage for one turn per card, right? So for example, earlier I have 20 cards in my deck, I think. Discard 20, that means every attack I do plus 200%. Plus it is addition, not multiplier. But that's fine, that is more than enough, right? It's more than double the damage of your usual the bullet. But in order to get this, you need to get exploration level 30 on the blue pot. I make a guy above blue pot before, and I still stand that blue pot is not that hard. People just don't read and don't understand the mechanic of the boss and don't plan ahead. But yeah, get level 30, get this into your gear pool, and then you can get this cube in any chaos you do. So that is the key component of Renoa. Let's talk about what I built for her stat, right? Because if we look at her potential node, nothing much, you just want to max everything. But there is one thing to pay attention is that the last node that increase damage of her dead bullet. Optimally, you want to have at least 60% crit chance so that it get plus 15 instead of plus 5. And 60 crit chance is a little bit hard to get, but if you can get it, it's gonna be quite nice. Not just because it trigger the node, but it also a good stat to have for DPS. Always, right? You don't need to put 260 with your gear only though, because if you remember, she have 10 plus 10 in her potential node already, so you just only need to get to 50 instead of 60. And for partner, well, use whoever you have. I use Calorie because it increases the damage of the card you generate by 20%. This if it's by, that means it's multiplier. So if I have a lot of cards in my hand and I discard a lot of cards and I use this together with near ego, that's gonna be a buttload of damage on every dead bullet that got discard, right? But if you want her signature 5-star partner is Kiara.
どうしてここに
Ego skill is kinda bad in my opinion because it's just pure damage and it's single target. But her passive is quite alright as long as your discard pile have 10 or more cards. Then you're gonna get 15 increased damage as a multiplier. And whenever you discard your card for the first time, you get plus 25 addition to your attack card for one turn. So it's gonna be quite a lot of damage, but not that groundbreaking. Not like it's gonna enable her any more than what she already did. So I don't recommend you try to get that unless you are a whale, right? And that's not all, right? We have memory fragment to talk, and then we have the save data. Memory. Right now, as you can see, I use two pieces on 3 things: crit chance, attack, and defense. This is not optimal, by the way, because if you can generate enough the bullet, you can opt out of attack and +1 and instead use the void set, which is whenever you exhaust a card, get 20% damage multiplier to void. That's gonna be quite nice. And to be, if the math is not wrong, this is a lot more damage than plus 12% attack. Sadly, I don't have the luxury to get good enough void set that have enough crit chance to put me to 60. That's why I still use this 3 set from now. But if you want to compare between crit damage and attack, I can guarantee you crit damage gonna give you much more damage compared to plus 12% attack, because Renoa gonna push for crit chance anyway, so go for crit damage always. The other for whatever, right? Example here, these have crit chance, crit damage. Oh, if you have a luxury, this is extreme luxury. If you have enough to get to 60 crit chance and you can get a gear that have more extra damage percentage in them, it's gonna be real good. Well, right now as you can see here, I have a lot of damage over time, which is not good. But extra damage, well, her dirt bullet if discard, it's gonna do extra damage. As you can see here, it do extra damage. So that's gonna be really good. That is like top end damage, top end build, right? I can't get that yet, and I'm not gonna get that anytime soon, because this is like, oh, not this one. Where is it? I think I have one that have a lot of crit chance, I think. Oh, maybe I keep it to someone else. Well, that's fine. But yeah, that is all for the memory fragments I use, and lastly for save data. And you can see I love Echo of Sorrow as an upgrade, right? Epiphany for upgrade. And I got lucky to get the Divine, so that is really good. Without Divine, it's fine, because if you have these two together, you get 2 dead bullet per turn, and that's gonna stack quite fast. Sadly, I don't have Epiphany for the flower. For the flower, well, don't have Epiphany is fine, because either you want to generate more dirt with the discard 3, or get the exhaust one that's gonna remove the flower altogether and give you a lot more dirt bullet. I gonna aim either of these two. These 3 are all useless. In my opinion, these 3 are all useless. And yeah, I talked about this earlier, right? The most important thing is dimensional cube. Right now I use dopamine injector because her eco skill gonna draw her a card, and whenever you draw, it's gonna increase damage by 20%. That is multiplier, so that's good. A lot better than, I think I have this thing. Oh no, this one is multiplier. I think I have one that yeah, this thing is addition. Addition is not that good. But there is one ultimate combo. If you can pull this off, right? You have Echo of Sorrow, copy them. Ballad, you don't want this one. You want Ballad that exhaust all of the dead bullet in the graveyard and gain 50% more damage per bullet. What we can do with this is that after the first cycle that you stack a lot of dead bullet already, you try to get this card on hand. You use near eco skill, shuffle all of your deck into your discard pile. That's gonna trigger all of the dead bullet, right? And also trigger the dimensional cube, which give addition damage, right? Per bullet, not per bullet, per discard. So assume that it's plus 200. And you use Ballad. If you use Ballad, you know, it's gonna be, let's see. So it's gonna be start at 260 times 3. Multiply that by how many bullets you have. Maybe you have, let's be a little bit generous, 8. That's gonna be what? 400% damage increase. So from 260 times 4, it's 1,000 something. 3 times, that is 3,000. That's gonna be a lot of damage. Sadly, that's gonna be really hard to pull off. But if you can pull that off, that's gonna be so satisfying to see, right? But without that, it's fine. And you can see earlier, damage is not an issue for Renoa. She can do pretty alright by herself. And let's talk lastly about the team. Usually, well, this will depend on what you build, but her best support is Nia for sure. Nia is her best support, but the +1 slot you can use whoever you want. You can use someone as a sub-damage dealer like Yuki or Selena, or you can go all in and maybe give her more draw with Cassius, or give her more AP with Mika. That's gonna be fine. For now I can use Magna because Magna is the best. I am biased, don't take me seriously. And yeah, I think that is all about Renoa that I want to talk about, I think. So to end the stream, I think I have enough stamina, right? Yeah, let's do a little bit of farming. Let's show off her firepower a little bit. And let's do potential for Void. Let's get near. I'm not gonna use Selena because my Selena is really good, and that's gonna make the damage kind of confusing from which one, right? From Renoa or Selena. But yeah, the upgrade bullet is really good as I can see. As you can see, it's gonna draw on the first turn, so you can start stacking bullet right away. Isn't that amazing? Right? Isn't that amazing? And we're lucky to have Nia in here, so that is real nice. Just look at the damage and don't need to worry about anything else. Right? Look at the damage. Alright, now we can try to do the combo. But let's see. Let's draw first. Ah, not good. Oh, not enough. If we can do this together, it's gonna be so fine. But okay, let's apply vulnerability. And let's see how much damage this is gonna be. Right? So fun. Alright, that is all for me today. I hope you have fun playing video game. Good luck with your gacha and see you again next time. If you have Renoa, good luck. You have a really broken 5-star in the game. If you don't, that's fine. This game tier list is mostly pointless. Okay, before we end, let me do a little bit of tangent because I see a lot of people talking about trying to get the best setup possible. You don't need that. You don't need Melin. You don't need Veronica. What you need is the character you want to play, right? Character you enjoy playing. You might want Melin, you might want Veronica, that's fine as long as you know that you want them. You don't need to have broken unit at all to do everything in this game. And again, your team don't need to have Mika. Your team don't need to have healer, because there is another type sustain which is shielder, right? Magna, Caripe, Maribel, Amir. I can tell you, from level 1, my account level 1 until now, I never touched or used Mika in a chaos run. Right, I just finished boosting her to 50, but before this week, she is like 20. I just try to put her up to play her with Maharu. But yeah, so... And why is that possible? Am I the god? No, I'm just average gamer. If you learn your team enough, and if you understand what you want to do, what you gonna plan to fight each chaos, the game gonna be easy. Yeah, I can say it's gonna be easy without using Mika. But Mika gonna make it easier, maybe. She is a good support for sure, but you don't need to use her. If you don't like to use her, there is no reason to use her. Alright, I think that is all for my tangent. That what I want to say is that just use whoever you enjoy and try to make a team that fit together. You can see from my gameplay earlier, right? Magna, Nia, Renoa. Of course, that is 2 5-star, maybe Maribel, Nia, Renoa, or whoever, right? Selena, Nia, Renoa. That's also good. Alright, that is all for me today. Not enough about tangent. I hope you have fun playing video game and see you again next time. We're gonna get a part 2 of the seasonal in like, let me check, 10 day, 7 day, in a week and a half. And when that happens, we're gonna get a new banner and we're gonna get a new thing to play around with. For now, bye bye.